Welcome to the ServSafe Test Prep. This is the ServSafe Manager Practice Test. We have gathered another 40 questions with explained answers from the ServSafe exam providers. So let's get started. Question 1. A manager notices that several nightly cleaning tasks are not being completed by the night crew. How should the issue be addressed? A. Rearrange the schedule to put different employees on the shift. B. Have the night manager complete any task that don't get done. C. Write the employees up for not completing their assigned task. D. Assess the number of cleaning duties assigned to the shift to be sure they can be completed in the required time frame. And the correct answer is option D. Assess the number of cleaning duties assigned to the shift to be sure they can be completed in the required time frame. Cleaning duties can be rushed or left undone if staff is not given adequate time to perform the duties in their allotted shifts. Major cleaning projects should be assigned when they will not affect service or contaminate food, and shifts should be adjusted accordingly to allow the proper amount of time for necessary daily cleaning and sanitation. Question 2. A customer calls to report that they contacted a foodborne illness after they ate at your establishment. What information should you get from the customer? A. The contact information for the hospital or doctor's office where they were treated. B. The names or descriptions of any staff members the customer came into with while at the establishment. C. General contact information and a description of what food and drink the customer consumed. D. A list of any foods the customer has eaten since being in the establishment, including food not prepared by your staff. And the correct answer is option C. General contact information and a description of what food and drink the customer consumed. Foodborne illness outbreaks can be very detrimental to an establishment, and customer complaints should be taken seriously and addressed immediately. Ask the customer for all relevant information regarding what they consumed during their visit and contact information for any follow-up calls. Never admit responsibility but express concern both for the customer and the situation. A foodborne illness incident report should be completed and kept on file. Question 3. An employee is coughing and complaining of experiencing vomiting and diarrhea. How should the situation be handled? A. Have the employee wash dishes instead of prepping food. B. Have the employee complete cleaning tasks until they feel better. C. Have the employee wear gloves and mask at all times while working. D. Send the employee home immediately and require a note from the doctor before they return to work. And the correct answer is option D. Send the employee home immediately and require a note from the doctor before they return to work. Sick employees pose an extreme risk of contamination in a food service operation. There are many levels and types of illness, and many can be handled with simple precautions like directing the affected employee to other tasks. Serious illness that may be contagious, however, should always be handled with extreme caution. Removing the employee from the operation and having the employee provide documentation from the doctor that they are no longer ill or contagious before returning to work is an important safeguard to protect your other workers and customers. Question 4. What is an acceptable container for an employee beverage? A. Any beverage in an aluminum can. B. A reusable water bottle with a pop-up straw. C. A disposable coffee cup with a sip top lid. D. A plain coffee mug from the beverage station. And the correct answer is option C. A disposable coffee cup with a sip top lid. Employees may drink from covered containers that have a straw or sip top lid. Even with these specifications, employee drinks must still be handled carefully and stored properly to prevent cross contamination. Question 5. You see an employee preparing food directly after cleaning the grease trap. What corrective action should be taken? A. Instruct the employee to wash their hands and continue prepping. B. Instruct the employee to wash their hands next time, but allow them to continue their work. C. Disinfect the work area and utensils the employee was using and ensure the food they were prepping is cooked properly. D. Dispose of any potentially contaminated food and instruct the employee on proper hand washing procedure immediately. And the correct answer is option D. Dispose of any potentially contaminated food and instruct the employee on proper hand washing procedure immediately. Corrective action should be taken immediately upon noticing a failure to follow proper hand washing procedure. Clean and disinfect work areas and tools in addition to disposing of any potentially contaminated food. Question 6. A chef wants to put a seared tuna dish on the menu. How can she best ensure a safe product for service? A. Freeze the tuna to minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit before prepping and serving. B. Order the tuna from an approved and reputable supplier. C. Buy the most popular cut of tuna from the local fishmonger. D. Talk to her staff about how expensive the tuna is to ensure they handle it properly. And the correct answer is option B. Order the tuna from an approved and reputable supplier. Ordering seafood and other high-risk foods from a reputable and adequately approved supplier is the first and most crucial step in ensuring a safe and adequately handled product for service. Approved suppliers follow rigorous procuring, preparation, holding, documentation, and shipping standards. Preventing time temperature abuse during storing and serving is the next most important step. Question 7. You have discovered signs of a cockroach infestation in your dry storage area. What should your first step be to address the problem? A. Close the facility until the problem is addressed. B. Try treating the infestation yourself with pesticides or traps. C. Designate specific staff members to deal with the infestation using pesticides or traps. D. Call a licensed pest control operator to inspect the building and develop an approach. And the correct answer is option D. Call a licensed pest control operator to inspect the building and develop an approach. Contacting a pest control operator should be the first step in addressing a pest control issues. They will develop an integrated approach to remedy the situation and are qualified to handle any necessary chemicals or traps. While it may seem simpler or cheaper to apply pesticides yourself, this can cause a range of problems and safety hazards and should only be done by trained professionals. Question 8. What is the best way to ensure proper personal hygiene in employees? A. Provide uniforms for the entire staff. B. Set up a staff dress code, put it in writing, and enforce it. C. Talk privately to an employees that have a hygiene issue. D. Speak to employees about being aware of their appearance and hygiene. And the correct answer is option B. Set up a staff dress code, put it in writing, and enforce it. Due to the importance of personal hygiene in a food service operation, managers should address the subject with every employee. Proper personal hygiene limits the threat of contamination through dirt or pathogens on the skin, hair, or clothing, and also helps present a professional and clean image for the operation. Question 9. Why should food handlers not wear false eyelashes? A. They can harbor germs. B. They can cause vision obstruction. C. They can be a distraction to other workers. D. They can become a physical contaminant. And the correct answer is option D. They can become a physical contaminant. False eyelashes and other hair or facial accessories can fall off and become physical contaminants in food. Hair should be pulled back or covered at all times using approved methods such as plain hair ties and hair nets. Question 10. Name the four types of pathogens that can contaminate food and cause foodborne illness. A. Yeast, mold, toxins, and acid. B. Bacteria, viruses, parasites, and fungi. C. Norovirus, Salmonella, Typhi, E. coli, and hepatitis A. D. Bacillus cereus, Listeria monocytogenes, Clostridium perfringens. And the correct answer is option B. Bacteria, viruses, parasites, and fungi. A pathogen is a harmful microorganism that can contaminate food. These biological contaminants are responsible for nearly all types of foodborne illnesses. Most cannot be seen or tasted. Identifying and familiarizing yourself with the types and sources of these biological contaminants is an important step in preventing them from being introduced to or spread in a food service setting. Question 11. Cold TCS food should be received at or under blank. A. 35 degrees Fahrenheit. B. 41 degrees Fahrenheit. C. 45 degrees Fahrenheit. D. 50 degrees Fahrenheit. And the correct answer is option B. 41 degrees Fahrenheit. Cold TCS food should be temped and inspected upon delivery to ensure it has been held at the proper temperature. Always order TCS food from reliable, inspected suppliers. Check deliveries of TCS foods for any indication of time temp abuse and reject any items that are above the recommended temperature upon delivery. Question 12. How quickly must food be cooled from 135 degrees Fahrenheit to 70 degrees Fahrenheit? A. 1 hour. B. 2 hours. C. 3 hours. D. 4 hours. And the correct answer is option B. 2 hours. Pathogens grow fastest at temperatures between 125 degrees Fahrenheit and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So it is very important to cool food below this range as quickly as possible. Overall, food must be cooled from 125 degrees Fahrenheit to 41 degrees Fahrenheit or below in 6 hours or less. If the food does not get cooled to below 70 degrees Fahrenheit in less than 2 hours, it must be reheated to 135 degrees Fahrenheit and cooled again. Question 13. What temperature range is referred to as the danger zone? A. 41 degrees Fahrenheit to 130 degrees Fahrenheit. B. 41 degrees Fahrenheit to 135 degrees Fahrenheit. C. 61 degrees Fahrenheit to 135 degrees Fahrenheit. D. 70 degrees Fahrenheit to 125 degrees Fahrenheit. And the correct answer is option B. 41 degrees Fahrenheit to 135 degrees Fahrenheit. Food held in this range is considered as being time temperature abused. This is the range that pathogens can grow and multiply. The longer food remains in this range, the longer pathogens have time to grow. Food held in this range for more than 4 hours must be discarded. Question 14. How long should documentation for both frozen and farm-raised fish be kept? A. 60 days from the delivery of the fish. B. 60 days from the sale of the fish. C. 90 days from the delivery of the fish. D. 90 days from the sale of the fish. And the correct answer is option D. 90 days from the sale of the fish. Necessary documentation for fish includes documents showing fish intended to be eaten raw or partially cooked was properly frozen, and that farm-raised fish was raised to FDA standards. Keeping these documents on hand can help protect your organization in the event of a foodborne illness outbreak or customer complaint. Question 15. A ready to eat pasta salad is taken out of the cooler at 2 p.m. and placed on an outdoor buffet. At what time should the salad be discarded? A. 4 p.m. B. 6 p.m. C. 7 p.m. D. 8 p.m. And the correct answer is option D. 8 p.m. Food held without temperature control can be served for up to 6 hours, providing it has been properly prepared and stored beforehand. If at any point in the 6-hour window the food exceeds 70 degrees Fahrenheit, it must be discarded immediately. TCS food being served to high-risk populations can never be served or stored without temperature control. Question 16. Cooler and freezer thermometers should be accurate within A. Plus minus 1 degrees Fahrenheit or zero point 0.5 degrees Celsius. B. Plus minus 2 degrees Fahrenheit or 1 degree Celsius. C. Plus minus 3 degrees Fahrenheit or 1.5 degrees Celsius. D. Plus minus 4 degrees Fahrenheit or 2 degrees Celsius. And the correct answer is option C, plus minus 3 degrees Fahrenheit or 1.5 degrees Celsius. Having accurate thermometers is important for proper food storage and record keeping. Thermometer readings should be verified regularly to ensure they are in the acceptable range, and faulty thermometers should be recalibrated or replaced. The thermometer should also be easy to locate and read. Question 17. What will be classified as an imminent health hazard? A. A sick employee. B. A broken cooler or freezer. C. A shipment of spoiled food. D. A broken water main in the facility. And the correct answer is option D. A broken water main in the facility. An imminent health hazard is a situation that poses a significant threat or danger to health that requires immediate correction or closure. A broken water main can cause a number of serious health and safety issues for a food service operation, such as contamination of food or food prep areas and lack of safe water for hand washing and cooking. Question 18. A running faucet below the rim of a sink is an example of A. Vacuum, B. Backflow, C. Backsiphonage, D. Cross connection. And the correct answer is option D. Cross connection. A cross connection is any physical connection between safe water and dirty water. In this example, the water level in the sink could rise above the faucet and cause backflow of unsafe water into the clean water supply. Question 19. What is the sanitizer concentration range for chlorine sanitizers? A. 30 to 99 ppm, B. 40 to 99 ppm, C. 50 to 99 ppm, D. 70 to 99 ppm. And the correct answer is option C. 50 to 99 ppm. Different sanitizers require different concentrations and dilutions to sanitize properly. Chlorine sanitizers, such as bleach, require the same concentration in hot and cold water and water with high or low pH, making them very versatile and effective. Question 20. The final sanitizing rinse of a high temperature dishwasher must be at least A. 165 degrees Fahrenheit, B. 175 degrees Fahrenheit, C. 180 degrees Fahrenheit, D. 190 degrees Fahrenheit. And the correct answer is option C. 180 degrees Fahrenheit. High temperature dishwashers rely on proper water temperature to sanitize items. The temperature should be monitored regularly, and machines should have easy to locate and read temperature gauges or dials. A dishwasher that is not reaching the correct temperatures may need service by a technician or have a heat booster installed. Question 21. Which of the following is an example of physical contamination? A. A piece of wood found in a customer's salad. B. Disinfectant liquid splashed on a prepared dish. C. Peppercorn served on the outside of a stick. D. A bone removed from a cut of meat before cooking and serving. And the correct answer is option A. A piece of wood found in a customer's salad. Physical contaminants are any objects that get into food that are not supposed to be there, such as glass, wood, dirt, bandages, and metal shavings. They can also include natural items such as bones or scales that have not been removed from a food item. Question 22. What is an accepted covering for an infected cut on the hand? A. A plastic band-aid. B. A single-use glove. C. A finger cord over gaze. D. A plastic band-aid under a single-use glove. And the correct answer is option D. A plastic band-aid under a single-use glove. Infected injuries must be properly covered to prevent the spread of pathogens into food or onto food prep surfaces. Bandages must be impermeable, meaning liquid from the injury cannot leak or seep through. Single-use gloves for the hands or other covering for the arms are used as an additional barrier. Question 23. Where should employee coats and backpacks be stored? A. In a linen closet. B. In a dry storage area. C. Under prep stations and work tables. D. In a closet or room away from food prep areas. And the correct answer is option D. In a closet or room away from food prep areas. Storing employee personal items away from food prep and storage areas helps prevent contamination. Storing them near or with clean linens may also cause contamination. Dirty clothing, including uniforms and aprons, or other items should be kept in non-absorbent containers or washable laundry bags. Question 24. A package of frozen shrimp arrives with large ice crystals present on the outside of the food and water damage on the box. What is this indicative of? A. The product was packed with excess water. B. The box of product was left in damp conditions. C. The product has undergone thawing and refreezing. D. The packing facility has not been properly inspected. And the correct answer is option C. The product has undergone thawing and refreezing. Thawing and refreezing is evidence of time temperature abuse. Any frozen item that shows signs of this should be rejected or discarded. Question 25. What will be the minimum internal cooking temperature of a chopped salmon burger? A. 145 degrees Fahrenheit. B. 155 degrees Fahrenheit. C. 160 degrees Fahrenheit. D. 165 degrees Fahrenheit. And the correct answer is option B. 155 degrees Fahrenheit. While most intact seafood only needs to be cooked to a minimum internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit, any chopped seafood must be cooked to 155 degrees Fahrenheit. Chopped or ground meats and seafood present a larger surface area for pathogens to contaminate and must be cooked to a higher temperature than their whole counterparts to ensure all pathogens are eliminated. Question 26. Which food item does not need to be behind a sneeze guard or in a self-service area? A. Whole unpeeled bananas. B. Unwrapped loaves of bread. C. Sandwich halves on a tray. D. Large bowls or ready-to-eat cereal. And the correct answer is option A, whole, unpeeled bananas. Sneeze guards and cases protect ready-to-eat food from contamination. Whole, unpeeled fruits and shelled nuts are the only foods that do not need this type of protection. All food in self-service areas should be clearly labeled. Question 27. Where should recycling containers be located? A. In the prep area. B. In the server station. C. In the dry storage area. D. Outside next to the trash cans. And the correct answer is option D. Outside next to the trash cans. All garbage and recycling should be stored separately from food and food contact or storage areas. Keeping the containers outside in a designated area helps prevent cross contamination and pest infections from affecting food and storage areas. Question 28. Identify the correct setup of a three-compartment sink. A. Water, detergent and water, sanitizer and water. B. Detergent and water, clean water, sanitizer and water. C. Detergent and water, clean water, sanitizer and water. D. Detergent and water, sanitizer and water, clean water. And the correct answer is option B, detergent and water, clean water, sanitizer and water. The proper setup for a three-compartment sink ensures dishes and other items are washed, rinsed, and sanitized correctly. Any approved sanitizer can be used for the third sink and should be mixed to the correct specifications for the sanitizer. The manual dishwashing area should be equipped with a clock with a second hand so staff can accurately determine how long an item has been sanitizing. Question 29. To keep pests away from food and supplies, how many inches of the floor must items be stored? A. 4 inches, B. 6 inches, C. 12 inches, D. 15 inches. And the correct answer is option B, 16 inches. Keeping food and supplies at a safe distance from the floor helps limit areas for pests to access or hide. Food and supplies should also be kept away from walls and properly rotated so pests cannot access them as easily or nest and breed. Question 30. What is the sanitizer concentration range for iodine sanitizers? A. 5 to 10 ppm, B. 12 to 20 ppm, C. 12.5 to 25 ppm, D. 15 to 25.5 ppm. And the correct answer is option C, 12.5 to 25 ppm. While iodine sanitizers are not nearly as popular or widely used as chlorine sanitizers, it is still important to be aware of proper usage and concentrations. Iodine sanitizers work best in cool water and require a slightly longer contact time to properly sanitize an item. Question 31. Where should chemicals be stored in a food service operation? A. In the dish pit, B. On the prep line, C. On top of the refrigerators and freezers, D. In a closet or shelving area away from food preparation areas. And the correct answer is option D, in a closet or shelving area away from food preparation areas. All chemicals should be approved for food service applications and stored away from food preparation areas by spacing and partitioning. This reduces the risk of dangerous contamination and misuse. Question 32. Which action should be taken to prepare for a flood? A. Close the facility until the event is over. B. Contact emergency services to find out what to do. C. Keep an emergency supply of bottled water on hand. D. Keep a supply of sandbags or other water barriers on hand. And the correct answer is option C. Keep an emergency supply of bottled water on hand. Keeping a supply of potable water in case of a flood is an easy way to help lessen the impacts on your operation. Having emergency supplies on hand can help keep an establishment running safely during a hazardous event. Question 33. Which food item can be reserved? A. Sealed packets of oyster crackers. B. Unused portion cups of mayonnaise. C. A basket of bread not eaten by guests. D. An untouched plate of pasta eaten by a guest. And the correct answer is option A. Sealed packets of oyster crackers. In general, only unopened, prepackaged items may be reserved to guests, provided they are clean and free of any damage. Condiments should be served in their original packaging whenever possible, and unused condiments in other packaging should never be reused. Question 34. A case of 10 cans of tomato sauce on a delivery has 4 of 6 cans severely dented, but not punctured or leaking. What should be done with the items? A. Discard the entire case. B. Accept the entire case as long as the cans are not punctured. They are usable. C. Return the damaged cans to the delivery driver and request a credit slip for the unusable items. D. Discard the damaged cans and thoroughly inspect the remaining cans to be sure they are undamaged. And the correct answer is option C. Return the damaged cans to the delivery driver and request a credit slip for the unusable items. While some flawed items may be able to be used with some corrective action, such as cleaning of dirt or other contaminants, dented or damaged cans cannot be used. Let the delivery person know what is wrong with the damaged item, return the item to them, or discard it depending on what the supplier requires. And make sure to document the damaged items on the invoice or receiving document. Question 35. What is the best way to ensure that all cleaning tasks are being identified and performed regularly? A. Create a master cleaning schedule and follow it. B. Hold a staff meeting to assign specific cleaning duties to each employee. C. Verbally instruct staff daily on the tasks that need to be completed. D. Create a sign-up sheet for cleaning tasks and leave it to the staff to designate. And the correct answer is option A. Create a master cleaning schedule and follow it. Creating a master cleaning schedule will ensure that all employees are aware of what cleaning tasks need to be done and when they need to be done. A staff meeting is suggested to train and instruct employees on how to complete each cleaning task properly. This time can also be used to assign certain cleaning tasks to each individual to aid in accountability. Master cleaning schedules should be in writing and avoidable to all staff to avoid confusion and uncompleted tasks. Question 36. How many days can properly prepared and stored TCS food be kept? A. 5 days. B. 7 days. C. 10 days. D. 15 days. And the correct answer is option C. 7 days. Even with appropriate storage and preparation temperatures, bacteria can grow and multiply over time. So all TCS foods being held for longer than 24 hours must be clearly marked with the product name and either the date prepared or the discard date to ensure it is not used past the appropriate time. Any food item stored in something other than its original container must be labeled with the item name and the date the original packaging was opened or the discard date from the time of opening. Question 37. When catering, the service site should have A. HACCP plan for on-site catering. B. Extra staff to assist with catering duties. C. Appropriate parking for catering staff vehicles. D. A safe water source for cooking and hand washing. And the correct answer is option D. A safe water source for cooking and hand washing. Caterers are required to follow all the guidelines of a permanent food service operation. The catering site should have a safe, easily accessible water source and appropriate and properly located garbage containers. All food should be transported and stored in insulated or temperature controlled containers to prevent time temperature abuse. Question 38. A PCO has completed a pesticides treatment on the facility. What documentation do you need from them regarding the chemicals used? A. An SDS. B. An IPM. C. A HACCP plan. D. A hazardous materials tag. And the correct answer is option A. An SDS. Pesticides are considered hazardous materials and need to be documented properly. A safety data sheet includes important data about the chemical or chemicals such as safe usage practices and any relevant cleanup or disposable information. Question 39. After taking a bite of their meal, a customer is developing hives, swollen lips, and shortness of breath. These are signs of what type of illness? A. An allergic reaction. B. A severe cold or flu. C. A foodborne illness like E. coli. D. It's not an illness. They are likely choking. And the correct answer is option A. An allergic reaction. Allergic reactions can range from mild to severe, have varying times of emergence, and in some cases can be deadly without proper medical care. Emergency services should be contacted in the event of a customer experiencing an allergic reaction. Question 40. Which mobile kitchen unit is exempt from the full set of rules applied to permanent food service operations? A. A concession van serving nachos, fries, and burgers. B. A food truck serving made to order tacos and burritos. C. An ice cream truck serving frozen packaged novelties and candy. D. A hand cart serving hot dogs with condiments and canned drinks. And the correct answer is option C. An ice cream truck serving frozen packaged novelties and candy. While mobile kitchens serving only pre-packaged items and drinks need only to follow basic sanitation guidelines. All other mobile kitchen units must follow all regulations and laws that apply to permanent kitchen operations. In many cases, these mobile kitchens will also require a special license or permit to operate. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, then please like, share and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to share it with your family and friends.